like that. How touch can make such a big difference.
Yeah.
I always looked at it, well, as a man, I don't need much loving or touch like that unless, you know what I mean? Unless I want to give it to them. I don't need no cuddles. Huh? Growing up and getting wiser, yes, I did. I needed many cuddles. Many I love you. Many, whatever they're having nowadays, you know what I mean? The lovely-dovely, you know. You sit there and they watch the... Yeah, man, the lovely-dovely. But as it says, my upbringing, which I'm proud of, is what made me now. It was none of the television. I never saw television till I was like... I think in Jamaica I saw Flash. I saw Flash once. And I went to Carib.
What about
MacGyver was a big thing at my time, but the TV, I had to walk 20 minutes just to watch this TV outside someone's garden and things, so it wasn't much. I saw Popeye. I remember Popeye, the sailor man, Flash. That's the red suit that just ran in it though.
Yeah.
Saving his dad went into prison, Barry.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That. And then I saw Fred, they took me in school, my first movie was Predator, and I think that started my mental health. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
In school?
They took us Carib, and I was a young kid. That scared the life out. I had nightmares for years.
How old are you then?
Predator, was that 1986? Predator came out, when was that, 1986? I was a child. This is what scared me. My brain couldn't understand visual, because...
Wait, I'm just trying to picture,
Yeah. Oh, the whole class. Predator. Predator. You know, want me to tell you why? Because...
No, but wait. Why?
The first time we heard
Was that
sound...
anything on the cinema at that time?
No, because in Jamaica school, when you reach a certain thing, that was your trip.
But
I remember
nothing
the
else
sound.
being shown at the cinema?
Wait, but
No,
Predator.
I think
Just
Predator.
Predator?
It was just Predator. And the next time I went to cinema was Robocop. That's the only two movies I saw in Jamaica before I left the country. But Predator was there as the kid. This was from school. School took me to Predator, but I couldn't afford to go even to Halfway Tree. I never went to Halfway Tree. I can't afford a patty. Why am I going down Halfway Tree? That's where the big people go, man. So when I went down there, and you know what's amazing, what I remember clearly, the first time I heard the sound, never heard sound like that. Normally I hear sound from a jukebox, but when I heard the doom and the machine gun, doom, doom, I mean, they had to shake. But I remember having nightmares for about six months after Predator. I couldn't sleep, scream.
But I'm just still trying to work out in my head why they took children to go.
What was it? It was a Carib time. I think that tradition still happens in Jamaica where the kids get some free Carib trips. I'm not sure.
So what, they're now going to go see John Wick instead?
Yeah, man, John Wick. No, you know what was on Predator? Yeah, it was Predator. I swear it was just Predator, but I remember it like that. Because when I came here, most of the kids my age never saw Predator or Robocop. And I was like, you haven't seen Predator or Robocop? No. That's violence. That is our dad. And I was like, rare. I saw that in Jamaica, man. Don't watch Predator, though. The jungle is alive. Remember that, because Green Beret, you know, the black man when the gun was spinning, that scene stood in my head for years. But yeah, Predator gave me nightmares, but I think that started my stress level. England started my mental health. When I come to England, our first word was council tax and stuff like that, which I've never heard before. I was like, excuse me? There was like, oh, Steve, there's a word called council tax. Water rate. You pay water rate. So there was some TV license. I thought in Jamaica you buy the TV, that's it. You climb up on your ladder, you hook it up to whatever on the top there to get big channels, but okay. And that was like, oh, this ain't fun, because when I left Jamaica, I thought, coming off the plane, I thought, okay, I've made it.
And how old were you?
I was 11, 12. And I went into year 6. 1, 2, 3 days of school, and then I was gone. My accent was too strong. And I said I was ahead of the game. When I started laughing, you know, the maths, I was like, what the I'm on long division. And then 2 + 2. You know what I mean? We went out to play cricket, the sport, and they gave me this orange ball that the windmiller took away. I went, what's this? They went, this is quick cricket. I was like, no, in Jamaica, you need to get bleed, man. This is the real ball. The real ball, you know what I mean? The real ball. So that never lasted long. So my mom did some great stuff to make me learn the culture of this country, improve my English and my accent, and get to the education in this place, which means I went straight into, you know what, Mom? you're working hard enough for yourself and nanny. Let me take care of little brother because school ain't teaching me nothing. So let me go and make some money. And that was the start of England, man. And obviously other bits. But I think I've been going through mental health from the moment I landed in this country, to tell you the truth. That's when reality hit me. In Jamaica, although I was bare feet, sandals, believe it or not, I was living the real life because you was learning, you go a certain path, like they're not teaching the kids over there, especially on the street, you're dead, or it's jail. You go this path, you can make something of yourself and improve your family. And it's a great place to be because people are courteous. None of these people, we help people with their handbag. I'm not scared to go to school with my brother. We talk about how to cook, how to survive in a hurricane. Spaghetti, you call it spaghetti over here? That's important in the house. We need corned beef and stuff like that to survive. Very good. You know. Tin food.
Bully beef.
Yes. So you learn to cook, you look after your little brother, so you become an adult very
Quickly.
you know what I mean?
You grow up too quickly.
Yeah, and I think that's what saved me now. That's why I can actually says, in a couple of years, like, instead of my mind breaking or, you know, the alcohol or the drugs or the thing, I can go back. I say, you know what, I've done it. I've done my mental health. Now, I need to unlock my other 75 on my brain and evolve from this planet. So that's what I'm passing on to my kids now. They're my legacy, or the young ones. You
Because,
know, but, yeah.
but it goes back to that thing though where I said earlier about black families. You know, we're brought up differently.
That is true.
Totally differently from a white. I know
Yeah,
it's even
some
done
Asian
it,
has got strict cultures.
Yeah,
I
it's
see
got
Asian
strict
when it
culture.
comes to education and
Yeah.
school. India's got another strict culture. India's
Indian,
quite
Indian,
close
yeah.
because
no, theirs
India
goes
like
even
to
deeper based on their
keep
caste
the
system.
family in the family. One thing black people, what hurts me for black people, like what we could have done for each other. And I give the Asian or the Indians a thing where they help each other, but we tear each other down instead of bringing each other in. Where we could have dominated by now. No disrespect, you know what I mean? And it's not a race war
I
thing.
think the
just
favourite phrase for
like,
me,
you
the
know.
favourite phrase that I've heard a lot of, what's in it for me?
Yeah, which makes me sick. What do you mean? To change,
Let me
to
come
bring the
I've got
legacy.
this
What do you mean, what's in
idea.
it
I've
for
got
you?
this idea. Let me do this thing. What's in it for me?
But
Yeah,
that's a different conversation.
that is a different
conversation for another
conversation.
time. That's a different conversation for another time.
Yeah, that's a different conversation. When we want to get
I
cultural.
think I would
We
never
wanna get
stop
cultural.
mental health, having mental
Get
health
cancelled for
problems.
that
It's how I deal with it. So right now people think Steve ain't mentally disturbed, man. Look, he's the happiest man on this planet. Look at the way he lives his life. He's smiling, he's bouncing. I know that's because my eyes still work, my hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
My
but
feet
the thing
still
is,
work
we
on
had
things.
this.
But
You
don't see it.
That's the
You don't
mask.
see
Yeah,
it.
but that's the mask.
You don't see it.
We had
yeah.
this recently with, well, it wasn't recently, but it was with Robin Williams.
Yeah.
One of the smartest, funniest people to walk this planet. To basically go out of his way to help people to do all this, to put a smile on kids' faces. Nobody knew the stuff that he was
That's
going
true.
through.
Chester Benningfield.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, Beddington.
Yeah.
Chester Bennington. Linkin Park.
Nobody
That
knew.
guy's lyrics
literally,
reached
there's
so
videos
many
of them
people.
laughing. There's videos of them laughing
well,
and smiling,
but-
and then these are the
Robbie's
people.
another one that was because
But those are the things that you see. People go through stuff, and no one knows what they're going through. But not to digress. But when we go back and we look at black families, yeah, it's starting to change because there's certain black families that are starting to change it, but some are still on the same path of, we don't, within our culture we have a thing with public displays of affection, whereas with your, with mainly your white families, right? It's standard.
It's standard.
It's
You
not.
I see it out
unless
there. I
it's
see
unless
the-
it's the
It
consensus or the majority is it's standard.
It is standard.
Most homes it's there.
It's
But
standard.
yes,
I'm seeing the
there are
change
the
now.
homes that it isn't.
There is
and we
homes,
know
yeah.
there are reasons behind it.
But
you know.
for a cultural
Yeah.
thing, it is standard.
Yeah.
It's standard, but I am seeing exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, there are exceptions
said,
to the
yeah.
rule. I didn't say there aren't any.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
exceptions to the rule, but it is generally standard that they have
Yeah.
that kind of relationship within the home and they
Yes.
have that going on. But Whereas ours, we do have the we will have the majority full parent home,
Yeah.
right? But we need to look at, okay, what are those factors that make it that when they say, okay, a black dad, they say he's hardly at home, but his presence is felt, right? But then you go, okay, what do you mean hardly at home?
Yeah, but what? They're
Right.
not living.
No,
with both
he's living.
parents?
No, he's living. Let's say both parents are there,
But you hardly see
home.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
you
hardly at
see the
home.
dad.
Yeah,
It's only
okay,
it's the
okay,
mum you
okay, but
always
his
see.
presence is felt
That's
in
But
the
his presence
household
is felt. But why is he hardly there?
Because he's working.
because he's working hard.
And
He
he's
has to
working
provide
hard.
for the family. He has
So
to be
now-
the man.
Remember, and that for me, when you watch what was it? Everybody Hates Chris.
Yes.
That just showed it.
Showed it,
And
yeah.
it showed it. It was showing it in America, but that's the same. You can take that, take it to Jamaica. You can take that, take it to Africa. You can take it, even take it to Asia, and you'll see the same pattern. But where you can't take it to is within, generally, a white community,
Yeah.
because you won't see that,
Yeah.
right? So you saw this guy doing, I think it was like 3 jobs.
Yes.
So he's hardly at home. So when even, I think there was an episode where they were like, oh, your dad, you're hardly at home or something.
Yeah, I know.
And then the man laid out for them why he's hardly
at home.
He broke it down in
Because to tell you the
pennies.
truth, he
Yeah.
probably wanted to be
understand?
at home.
Yeah, he wanted to be at home. I think it was the episode where he had a like 1 day off or something, and
Yeah.
they'd never ever seen him at home, so they were shocked. So then they were like asking him why was he at home though? You know, why are you never at home? So then the guy ran it down, talked about how many jobs he has, why he has those jobs, which bills those jobs pay, and you know, say whatever you like about Terry Crews, he played that role well, right?
The show
He
was
played
good.
it well, and he demonstrated that generation. When you look at that generation of black men and that generation, whether even Asian men, you can bring them into it, that first came to America, first came to England, first came to Europe, came to the rest of Europe. When they came out from Asia, came out from Africa, and came into Europe, came into the Americas, they were not working one job.
No.
No. Yeah,
these weren't
my
people-
nan, my granddad, when I'm hearing, 3,
But what you have
4
to understand-
jobs
also
to
understand-
keep, it's incredible.
Majority of the people that came from Africa, this is where it gets even. And now when I look at African parents, I understand it more now. When I look at like my father's generation, I kind of understand it more now. These are people who came here. They didn't come here to work. They came here with some serious qualifications. They didn't actually, and those qualifications were gained in Nigeria, and they weren't inferior qualifications. They were standardized. And they were actually recognized then. But they came here, but to get a job as, imagine, you couldn't get a job as an architect, you couldn't get a job as an engineer,
A
because you were
doctor.
looked down on. So you had to
Yep,
take
and,
the
as a
next
lawyer.
best thing.
And your
And
generation
that
goes,
next best thing may not be anywhere near that.
They
So
put
they're
you in the
bitter.
corner till you need to put food.
Yeah, so he has to put food on the plate. All right, so he takes a
And
second
he's
job,
bitter.
takes a third job. So he's not happy, he's bitter. And then we were now coming wondering, okay, why is this man not hugging us?
That's a good point.
Why is this man not telling me, oh, yeah, you did well, like you said your
Yeah,
dad.
yeah, like be
said,
proud
okay, yeah, you
more the
tried.
time. Yeah.
You tried, right? But then when you were saying that, I also remembered an episode again, still in Everybody Hates Chris. I know I'm going to reference this quite a bit because there was that program, as funny as it was, but it was so real as well. It's not unlike the Cosby Show, which is a bit, rose tinted glasses and Chardonnay. You understand? It was a bit bougie. Let's be honest. Not every black family lived like that.
No, it was the perfect
You understand?
idea of it. It's
So-
the Cosby Show was the perfect idea of
But
what
Everybody Hates Chris was more the reality.
Yeah.
Of the general black population across the world, in Europe and America. So when we're then wondering, okay, why is this man not hugging us? Why is it? Then I now started to understand, and I thought, okay, maybe he's doing that. Okay, you tried, because he's looking at what he's doing. So when you now, you see, I'm not playing devil's advocate or anything now. Because I'm seeing that I'm able to see both sides
No.
because I'm not because maybe
No,
because
you're
I'm
not, because
neutral.
we've had this conversation previously.
So, and I thought about it, I was like, okay, what if that was what had affected that? He's going, okay, I came here, I'm qualified in this. I studied
Yeah.
it. I had to get A levels, I had to get O levels, I had to get a degree.
Yeah.
And they were all standardized to the same level as the UK ones. So why can't I work in that? I have to do something I don't want to do just to pay the bills because I've got bills to pay. So he's angry. And I get it. But yes, we may say, okay, but then you shouldn't have passed it off onto him.
Yeah, because
'Cause he wasn't the one that did it.
Yeah, it has
But
nothing to do with
I
the child.
understood. Yeah,
and
but I understood why. I could see why, but I'm just like, okay, yeah, I get
you
it.
can have a little reason why. On the balance of thing, you know, you have a little point there, but I've been what Wally said. My dad, nah. When he's proud of me, he's the best dad in the world. And trust me, it's few and far between, you know what I mean? So, and did I get the feeling maybe it's because of what yes. There's probably a little bit of it, but still, that's just how it is. That's how his dad was, I guess. You know, it was education, you know, because I don't know, for a black man to be a doctor, a lawyer, or what, a PhD or whatever, it was the greatest thing to spread around because it was one time when I stopped to say, "Right, that's for you to tell the world to be proud of me. I'm going to be the best I can for the family. And, you know what I mean, do my best." But, nah, you're right. I never got none of this touchy love as much as I should. And looking back, do I really miss that? I guess I'm over that now, but sometimes I do think, what if I was a bit more, not saying as a man soft in it, but you know what I mean? You know
I
what I
get you
mean?
still.
Like, I can't imagine myself, honestly, I can't, like, on the sofa, whatever you do with it. There was always something to do around the house.
I'm not gonna lie.
There was always something to do.
Like to what you said, when you said it's not that you're soft. I ain't gonna lie. When I'm at my most vulnerable, that's when I put my head on her lap. And I curl up. That's when I'm at my most vulnerable. Right, I can. That's
Yeah,
not for me. That's not even.
Yeah, but
a tick.
yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, but how often
Second.
do you do that?
That's the thing. Personally, I think I should be doing it more.
But
But
What?
I find that I only do it when I've hit that.
rock.
I've not just rock,
The-
wall of steel,
The wall is bottom
Wall of
the
steel.
dry bit.
wall of steel, and a hard
True,
place.
bro. That's what they say. Sometimes you know.
Because that's when you can think. 'Cause
Yes.
everything's just become too much.
Sometimes the human nature does that.
You
innit?
understand?
You turn to religion when you're desperate.
And I
Why?
found
You
that
know?
when I do that, it's almost like somewhere deep within me, I've now remembered where was the safest place I ever was, which was back in the womb. And I think that's where, I think for men, that's where we ultimately want to go to because we feel that that's our safest place. So, funny enough, which, from what we were discussing about touching and the importance of it is important. And we know that, depending on the demographic, even to a point, religion as well.
Yeah. I think-
Religion plays a massive role in it as well, unfortunately, because that's a different story, a different
that's another
discussion. But religion does play a role, whether we like it or not, apart from cultural aspects. And again, the culture does play a role.
Society plays a role.
Society again, but that comes to the demographic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that will come with the demographic. The society's role will then be based on the demographic of that society. So, also again, funny enough, we go back to what we were talking about. I think when we were talking off camera, we were talking about it takes a village to bring up a child, and we were talking about our
community, or
and we were talking
something to
about our
think
experiences of
my
growing up within a community.
I
within
grew
the
up
village.
within a community.
You understand?
I did. I have
And-
to say that.
Yeah, and we
But
had that.
now they call it
yeah.
snitching and all that nonsense or
I'm gonna
whatever
tell your
these
mum.
young ones. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
tell your
tell your mum and all that. But I grew up. But
Yeah.
my mum knew exactly what I was doing before I touched down, and I sometimes wonder how.
But
How
you
did the
knew-
pigeon fly ahead?
But the most important thing, though, you knew
Yeah, I
that
knew.
before
I knew.
that street light come on,
Come on, I knew.
get
I
home,
knew. Yeah.
take your ass home.
No, as I said, it's one of the
best time.
group.
She'll tell you the best time with that is when you get home and then she asks you, "Did you enjoy it?" And you're like, "How do you know?" I was
How
over
do you
there?"
know that? Yeah,
Yeah,
how do
they
you
know.
that?
They know where you
because
were.
she weren't telling me that she knew Maureen down the road that I used to just think was the shop seller. You know what I mean? I didn't know Maureen knew my mum down the road. I used to always wonder that, but as I says, looking back on it, sometimes I give thanks for that, man. I do, because if I didn't, I wouldn't even know how would I've chosen the right path or the thing, because that's what stops me. When I'm about to do the wrong thing or stop, or the head is getting too much, man, it's so easy to give up. And I stop myself, I talk to myself, and I compose and I recess, I start again. Those are the things that gives me the strength. I said, you know what, they've been through the hardship, they can do it, I can do it. I just need to calm down. But what I need to do now is talk more to the missus, to the family, should I say. It depends, innit? Because as I said, some of them ain't secret keepers, man. Especially my family. Whole of Jamaica know what I'm doing right now.
But the other thing as well, what you get with that is you get a little voice in your head, even if you feel that your partner, your significant other, whatever you want to call them, is your secret keeper. There's always that little voice
Yeah.
in the back of the head that goes, "No, they're not."
For me,
They're not.
it's
Don't
very
trust-
hard for me
it's-
to say that's my secret keeper. Apart from my
No, but
brother, I trust my brother.
No, but you have
no
it.
one else.
You have it.
That's my secret keeper.
I
do.
you have it. It's a little voice of self-doubt that
And
turns
it's-
around and goes,
you're right.
"No, they're not. They're
Nah,
going to use it against
that's
you.
from my
Don't trust them."
upbringing. I know that's from my upbringing.
Don't trust
That's
them.
why I
And-
won't trust. As I said, I do trust my brother because I kind of grow him up.
Shared
but,
experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew him up. You know what I mean? I've seen him at his to his best.
Yeah.
But from my mom to even now, I can't give them that 100 thing. And it's just, as I said, it's what I've been from. But
there's
that's
also
just my culture.
But there's also part of you that probably thinks as well, they wouldn't actually even listen to you.
If I let it all out on a realist, maybe now I'm getting older, I think maybe they would if I'd have talked more or let them know, because they probably looked at me like, he's not doing that because he is. Look at you, he's the man, he is strong. No problem with Steve, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I think maybe if I did talk more, especially to my mum, I think if I did talk more to my mum, because sometimes my mum said it, if you did talk more to me or come for cuddles or thing, I probably would, you know? But I said, Mum, as it says, it's vicious. That's
Those
why I
days.
don't tell you nothing,
Those
because
days.
the whole of Jamaica knows my business. And
Yeah, but then again, at the same
I'm talking
time,
to you.
she's saying to you, "Oh, if you had come to me and said this."
But if she
But
would
why
have
should you-
been,
why should
what I
you-
was crying out for
Yeah.
was for her to stop being the superwoman. Because, as I said, my mum could come in the room and we're all quite disciplined. She don't even need to say a word. You know, very, I wouldn't say strict. I just said my mum was big mama. Nanny was bigger mama. And when my dad gets told he has to finish off the discipline, because who's disciplining him? My mommy. So I knew my mum was big round the house from an early age. I'm like, Jesus. As a man, how can I be inferior like this? But as I said, sometimes we talk and my mum say, yeah, maybe I was a bit tough, but I wouldn't change anything, to tell you the truth, because seeing what my mum went through, she had it hard. That's why probably it came like that on me. But we should have hugged more. And now I'm getting older. So, you know what I mean? I see my mum like, Mum, you know, love you. Yeah, cool, man. Love you, man.